Well, 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 it looks like we've had the results of the Summoner's Choice final round voting. And, yeah, I saw this made me laugh. This, if you've seen, this is like the Flash meme, where, like, you know, person plays a Flash. I think there's like behind the scenes thing of like, anyway, it's sort of like, yeah, okay, so Bullseye and Spunky are out of the running of the votes. I am very glad that people came to their senses and didn't vote for Spider-Punk, because I do not want to, and it'll probably be a case when the character eventually comes into Marvel Contest of Champions, that it will be referred to as Spunk or Spunky. But in any case, I'm not going to stop saying that now. Bullseye as well got kind of like ousted out, which is weird. I felt that there was a lot more of people that were interested in that character, but I guess not. Especially when it came to this like last kind of scheme of voting with it, and it's Gladiator and it's White Tiger. Now I do have a prediction for this. I do think that White Tiger is going to win overall, and it definitely feels like there's a pull to. We've been here before though, people, where even like out of 101 votes, when someone put this poll up, like who do you think is going to win overall, White Tiger or Gladiator? I think that you know, people will go White Tiger. For me personally, for the character, the story that could be interwoven, and just like what could, I know people go like, oh, it's another cosmic, and I do strongly say that, like, you know, we do need an extra mystic into the line of champions. Where's my playable class totals? Let's just get that for a second. So my playable class totals, it is very much kind of like, you know, it's self-evident that there's 38 mystics to 45 cosmics. So it kind of feels better to like inject another mystic within it. So, I mean, just by that logic, yes. That's not what I'm saying there's a justification. What I'm doing in this video is going through loads of justifications for different things. But as I said, like, for me, Gladiator has the better comic book history, just in a personal sense of what I've seen, what I've read, what I've heard, and what I kind of feel that could be interwoven into the story arc of the game, right? Not so much for White Tiger. It's okay. It's just the problem is there's been multiple versions of White Tiger. There is some cool things with it. Okay, so I think it's probably best to do is go over what Kabam have put out, because what Kabam have put out is a little kind of champion teases, or kind of information teases for the character, like gameplay themes. Inheriting the mystical powers of the White Tiger, the Tiger God, White Tiger is an expert combatant, wielding frequent deadly special attacks. Her precise strikes and combos blend seamlessly into rapid specials. When White Tiger hits her rhythm, it's unclear where the woman ends and the ancient god begins. Already that's given me just exactly the same vibes of Tigra, so I really hope that there's something built differently here. Because that's the problem people will see, is just that we're just getting Tigra 2. This is Tigra 2. But this is all when the abilities come in. Come on, I want to see something different. White Tiger plays a dangerous game of juggling her foe at high power levels. As her opponent's power increases, her strikes and specials become more frequent and deadly. Okay, that's when there's some difference there. She also is able to steal their power for herself. I like the idea of that. Power control champion. That's handy for Cavalier difficulty, Thronebreaker difficulty, sorry. And yeah, other things as well. Further, enabling players to keep their opponent just below max power and unlocking White Tiger's true potential. So that seems like a lot of, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of like effort and rotation with that one, but the same thing with, I think there's another champion in game that's similar to that in functionality. But still, a power controlled champion option is still needed, wanted, and desired within the game, and especially from a mystic sense, because Kabam keep putting out the same nodes, and they don't add more champions that interact with said nodes. Like this month, what is it called? Oscillate Equilibrium. No, it's not called Oscillate Equilibrium. It's called something like that. Something Equilibrium. What is it? Just so I don't go completely and utterly bonkers. It is called, yeah, Oscillate Equilibrium. It is that one. Those particular nodes. Oscillate Equilibrium and siphoning strength and power overwhelming. Sorry, all these three here were 3.2. So I guess that's good to kind of have that particular, you know, again, something similar to that to add in that can do the job. So whether or not White Tiger is going to be your bag, you know, it's going to be down to you. From a Gladiator sense, let's have a look at that. So Gladiator is powers are nearly limitless, dependent on only his confidence. Capable of incredible feats of strength and speed, he is able to defeat even the mightiest of opponents simply because he knows he can. Ooh, I love that confidence. Gladiator builds confidence as he gains buffs and as he fights his opponents, gaining more, even more from clear, decisive victories. Oh, confidence empowers his abilities, improves the effectiveness of his buff, and improves his durability. Oh, I want Gladiator to win. I like that. That's cool. That's like, you know, champion. I'm not saying it's like what is it called? It's like, it reminds me of the champion, really, which I think is cool because then I wanted to see some more kind of interaction with Gladiator and characters that are kind of associated with Gladiator. So I really will be disappointed if Gladiator loses, but look, vote for who you want to vote for, right? That's the main thing. There's characters that I wanted to see win this, which are now not in the running. They're way off. Like, well, not even here. Like, Deathlock was one of them. Gladiator was another one. And I did like the idea of White Tiger. It's just the problem is I was just concerned about how Kabam would pitch it. I'm not saying that, like, here's the thing. Not a lot of people use the champion nowadays as a persistent champion fight by fight. I just think that this would be kind of cool as a character because it would be persistent. And whether or not there'd be extra types of utility that could factor into it, maybe different utility that, say, Hercules doesn't have. You could have yourself a Gladiator on your team. You could have either, well, yeah, Gladiator team and like a few other champions as well. But it's nice to get back, like maybe like a good persistent fight by fight champion that really stacks, similar to you know, Gallon, for example. But then people would go, well, we just had Gallon, so it's like it's too soon. We need something different. So I don't know. I'm not disappointed with both of them, but I kind of feel like it's good to see that these type ones coming back. I'd love to see combo building champions. I don't know why Kabam don't build combo building champions. Like, we have a very limited amount of them nowadays, and nothing on the scale of, say, Aegon. But I would like to see a nice 750 combo building champion that has just a lot of stuff in it. I'm not saying that it's too much with Aegon's build up to, like, you know, 999, but it would be nice to kind of like have something that's 750 and just kind of like, well, not easier to build, but more kind of like efficient to build for the amount of quest time that you actually using the champion for, because MCOC's changed dramatically. And also there was an interesting forum thread that looked at the sad side of things, of like why it was annoying that Bullseye didn't win. There's a lot of cool things like Dark Avengers and synergies that could factor into characters as well. Yeah, I think you know, Bullseye's sad because of the extent the character has. You know, the community voted really strongly for Bullseye, so it is sad to see it. But it just seemed like it was just up against like the toughest fight ever, going up against Gladiator and White Tiger. It is really tough to say like how this voting is going to go. It does feel like it is pulling more towards White Tiger. But it's disappointing because as I said, we've looked at these abilities that Kabam have pitched for the characters. I personally would have liked to have seen it for all of the characters before they were put in, or at least on the last round of the final four, just so you got an idea of like, okay, well, who you were voting for at that stage, because then you could really get like a, you know, a decent enough feel for who was going to be a good character to have in Marvel Contest of Champions as a playable champion. But c'est la vie. Things will happen, and it was the will of the people and the results of the people, and we'll see what happens on next week. I think it's, what is it, we get the results in on February the 2nd or February the 3rd, so we've got another week. We get the voting drops, I think on Friday. Is it Friday 27th or is it 30th? One of the two, and then it's a case the final results are later on this week. Well, we'll see what happens, and them's is the breaks, my friends. that's been the video. I thank you very much for watching. Check out some other content. The second video for today should be a side quest video. We're going to go and see if we can do some one-shots, especially for some of the objectives. And I'll see you all later on. Have a lovely day, whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.